I can't get these to look right.
Get what?
The little notes for what we're talking about today. Like, it's annoying me too.
I never even.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
blind
I
with
I
it.
don't
believe
do
we
it.
are live. I think so right now. Just checking. It says live on my side, but I'm not seeing it on my
There is a delay.
my little preview window. Yeah, I know. When you see it, Fred? All right.
Oh, yeah, I see
If
it.
you guys are just now tuning in, this is Active Reload. This is episode 7 now. Almost a successful 2 months. We got an echo predator. I can hear it.
It's
Tune that
Predator
down.
and
Tune that
his
down.
Echo,
Yeah.
man.
Tonight we have Predator. As you can see, he couldn't get his video working, but he
Yeah,
chose this
do it,
picture
please.
for us to put there, so that's all him.
I can't hear anything with the Echo.
Yeah,
It's
Predator, you gotta
Predator.
mute that.
It may even be arCtyC. I have no idea who it is.
No, it's Pred. No, it's arCtyC now. What's going on?
I have no idea.
We good?
arCtyC's not even paying attention.
And by the way,
Well, no.
All right, we're good. Yeah.
2H.
Anyway, as I'm getting confused, tonight it's myself, Gandhi, arCtyC, Burger Fresh in place of DeFace, and Predator, obviously. And arCtyC, it's still coming through for you.
Burger Fresh in place of
He's not even paying attention. He's completely zoned out. It's hilarious.
That's too funny.
Like, he doesn't even realize, like, we're talking to him.
Is it better now?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
Alright.
fantastic.
Man.
What did you do?
Yeah,
I don't know. I heard Gabe's playback, and I was like, what is that? So I was sitting here looking at what it was.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. So, Predator, you're back playing now? Oh, he's not there either. That's cool.
Fantastic conversation.
We're doing great so far tonight.
Can you hear me?
Predator, what'd you do?
Hello, hello.
You're echoing like crazy now.
This is what happens when you retire and you come back. Back is ruined everything. It's like just taking a bag of chips and crumbling it into the
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, alright, is there an echo still?
No, you're good.
No.
Alright, awesome. No, with the comeback, I haven't actually made any decisions. I'm just kind of just feeling and seeing what options I have, if it's even possible for me to even come back.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, how did you feel watching Hype 2 and not playing?
To be completely honest, it was a little disappointing. I mean, just not being in the competitive atmosphere, seeing people you know and you pretty much grown up with competing, and seeing Infinity, win again. It's a little upsetting.
Hmm. Okay.
It's okay.
I mean,
How'd you feel about the saga you left over with the Insanes? Do you think they lived up to the name well? At Hype 2?
Yes, I think they've definitely. I mean, I thought they were gonna do place like 6th through 8th, to be completely honest. But after watching one of their matches, Wildebeest definitely stepped it up for them. I think as a captain leaving a team, that's the biggest thing. You wonder like who's gonna fill my shoes, who's gonna be the person to do what I did, and Wildebeest definitely did what he needed to make that team place well again.
cool.
I'm a big Wildy fan myself, so it works out.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
pistol.
he did great.
Fantastic.
He did do good.
Mm-hmm. So, what was I just gonna ask? Shit, I just lost complete track. Oh yeah. After watching Hype, are there any things that you did not agree with, like game type wise, maps? How do you think King of the Hill went?
I think King of the Hill went great, to be completely honest. I think there's a lot of people who just aren't used to it. I think the game is actually designed for King of the Hill and Team Deathmatch. I think, to be honest, if you could take out Execution, I'd be happy with it. I think a lot of people would be happy with it too. It just, the way the game's actually played, it just feels so nice and smooth with Team Deathmatch and King of the Hill. Just the only thing you got to work on is spawns a little bit. I think Epic is doing that as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest curveball I've ever heard in my entire life.
Wasn't
arCtyC, do you
expecting
not feel
that.
the same way? Yeah, no, not at
Yeah, I
all.
was not expecting that. I mean, Team Deathmatch?
Yeah, over X,
On certain maps. On certain maps. I mean, you can't put it on every map. I mean, there's some maps that you can definitely do it on. Like, I mean, like backslash or backslab, if that were to become a competitive map. Or just some
Backslab.
maps. I mean, yeah, dude.
You mean slab?
That map's sick. That's what I said, slab. But
Good
I think
point,
it is.
backslab too.
Well,
That sounds good. I mean, the problem with TDM, I mean, we tried it at King of the Couch, the one before, the one that we just did this past weekend, and we did just TDM Old Town, and I mean, I thought that was the best map for TDM at the time, and even on that, I don't think teams knew how to play it because they would just, even if they were in the lead with power weapons, they would still just camp at like that 50-yard line on the map and just not move up.
Yeah, I think the problem with team deathmatch is a lot of the notifications. I think that if they were kind of randomize it, kind of like King of the Hill, I think it'd be perfect. But I mean, like I said again, I think it's just depending on the map you play. But I think like in Gears of War 3, I think King of the Hill is probably the most successful game type.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of it. I love it.
Yep.
It's my favorite.
I agree.
I love King of the Hill to watch. It's so entertaining and like compared to Execution, it's just like fast paced and just fun. Like it just makes everything look good.
Yeah,
I mean, people that watch Gears, they want entertainment, and what you tend to see in Execution is a lot of camping. I mean, here and there, depending on the map. But with King of the Hill, there's always a consistent flow to the game, and there's always somebody pushing, and you have to make this push, or you have to hold this side of the map, so you block this spawn. It's a lot like, kind of like Halo, which brings a different type of skill to the game, which is nice and which is new and refreshing. But I think that there's a lot that still needs to be worked on the competitive side of things.
Mm-hmm. Of course. The good thing about King of the Hill to me is like even if a team's getting absolutely destroyed, it's still fun to watch.
Yep.
Like Execution, if a team's just getting like banged out, it's like, all right, let's just get this over with. So, Scott, I know you said you had something regarding TLN. I'm not really sure what that is at all. So, I mean, this is all you.
Well, let's just. I was kind of expecting to close on this. I've been trying to figure it out in my head.
Oh, you want to? We could close on that.
Oh no, I'll do
Okay.
it now. I just need the echoes going. I don't know who it is.
It's Predator.
Off.
No, don't blame me.
All right. So, it's still there. I can't do this.
Predator, you're echoing, dude.
I have no confidence. I nicked my beard. I'm a baby face. I have an echo.
Yeah, Pred, just mute your mic when you're not talking. Try that. Does that work? Yeah, there we go. All right, we're good.
Fantastic. All right, so basically what the LAN network is, the LAN network used to be owned by a Halo player's father named Mr. Pinocchio. It was Tots' dad, for those of you who know anything about competitive Halo in the slightest bit. Now, what it was is he bought a house where teams could come out there and they would compete for a weekend for basically just practice, and then some events there was money, others there weren't, but it doesn't matter. It was a house where you could literally watch it's basically a reality TV show for a full weekend of the 6 teams, 5 teams, 4 teams, 3 teams who went there to compete against one another. So it's a full weekend of LAN play. Now, Mr. Pinocchio, after his son retired from Halo, sold the company to this new guy who, his name, I want to say it's Rick, the guy who I correspond to, his name is Robert Frere. And they have bought a big house. It's in Indianapolis. After this, I will tweet out a link of thelandnetwork.com. Basically, what he wants to do is he wants to turn it into the premier gaming house. So one weekend he wants to have, Halo Reach events. Well, basically it's practice, but there will be money put up. They haven't really figured out the figure yet. Halo Reach, Gears of War 3, and Call of Duty. Now, what this does is, at first he only wanted to do Halo and Call of Duty. So I wrote him up a 7-page proposition. I said, hey, listen, man, really, you need to be focusing on Gears of War, and I'll tell you why. The first thing about Gears of War is people only, they like watching competitive Gears of War. We see that from our numbers. Crream, how good did your stream do this previous weekend?
We didn't have front page at all during Saturday. No, we didn't. Rod had told me he got it, but I don't think anything really happened with it. So we were pretty much just teetering around 1,000 just Gears fans the whole time, which is still fine without
It's
having front
good.
page at all, you
It's
know?
fun. Yeah. So I mean, at hyping up, we got 10,000
Hmm.
and some change. Yeah, I don't even know the exact number, which is better
We got
than Halo.
12,000 concurrent.
12,000 concurrent at one point, which is better than Halo reached at the national championships by 6,000.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, so basically I said, look, people like watching competitive Gears of War, but they have never, and this goes for players included, have never seen 5 teams or 6 teams or 4 teams throughout the entire weekend evolve as a team and personality-wise to adjust to one another. None of us have seen that, correct?
Nope.
No.
And so I said, what better way to capture that than by putting these players in this house? So basically how it's going to work is, rough draft here, this is the foundation. I will be picking 5 teams. It's pretty much at will. Maybe I'll do a community thing, most likely to vote in. I'll be picking 5 teams, and ideally the 6th team who will come will be going into an online bracket. Now, it's not just amateurs only. This is pros, semi-pros, amateurs, first time, doesn't matter. You go into this one big bracket. Seeds, well, I guess will go off a Hype Fest or something like that. It doesn't matter. You have to beat everyone to be the best anyway, so I don't really know if seeds are necessarily important. But by getting that 6th spot, since you have to go through the online qualifier, you will hopefully be getting your flight paid for to come out to that weekend. Now, so, if I invite a team and they say no, they want to go into the online, so be it. I mean, that's their choice. But so basically in a full weekend, it'll be 6 teams competing at top-tier Gears of War play. All of it streamed. They will have housing or they will be in the house. You'll see them interact because there's cameras all over the place. The place is a mansion. It is absolutely incredible in every aspect of awesome you can imagine. I mean, the LAN network used to engulf Halo players and make them not return back to their house for months. I mean, I got stuck in there for like 3 weeks, and time just dissolves.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome, assuming everything goes according to plan. But that is what I have in the works.
Sounds awesome. I mean, it's just
That sounds really good.
it sounds
Yeah,
like
that's fucking awesome.
another great way just to boost Gears as a whole, you know?
Yeah. And now, supposedly, how the money will be put up is through the online qualifiers, like them being streaming it or something to that extent. But like I said, this is all very, very rough draft. And we're looking at as early as 6 weeks will be the first event, which is fucking awesome. But, as late as, I don't know, 12 weeks, something like that. Not 100% at all on that statement. But basically, it'll be paying off first, second, and third place for money. And it will be, staggering it off. And then at the end, we'll probably throw together a championship.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. I can't stress it enough how just excited I am for it.
Sounds good, dude. I mean, I'm
That does
excited
sound
for it.
awesome. Like,
I think we lost.
especially within 6 weeks.
No coaches. I said no coaches, especially Burger Fresh.
What did I do? I didn't do anything. I'm still in here.
Oh man.
I'm just kidding with Burger. Well, Burger, what's your take on it?
My take, I think it's awesome. Like, within 6 weeks and everything that you just explained, like, that's a great way to bring, like, positive media to Gears of War, especially with everybody being together. And like you said, I follow quite a few Halo pros, and like you said, they all get sucked into the house and they wind up, like, staying there for a while. I noticed that with a lot of people. I talked to Flamesword quite a lot, and he was always saying how he was staying there, and it was just one of the coolest experiences he ever had. So hopefully that all works out for Gears. I would love to make a trip out there too.
Yeah. We'll see. So I guess really the big thing for me is I can't. I mean, if people in the stream, I mean, I'm sure you know how big of clowns these Gears of War guys are. I just imagine 24 of these top tier players in a house for a weekend together, and everything's recorded.
Oh
I'm
man.
imagining it's gonna be some
Dude,
shitty
that's
version of
gonna-
Jersey Shore.
That's gonna be some bad stuff. Is gonna go
It's
down.
gonna be hilarious.
That's
I
fun.
can't.
Oh man. arCtyC, your cam is not showing up for me. Neither is yours, Burger, at the moment.
Yeah,
All right, I'm
but
going to reconnect. I'll be right back.
Yeah, try reconnecting real quick. See if that happens. Yeah, guys, this is the fun about running stuff like this. Something always happens every time. I don't think there's been one episode where everything has gone perfect to plan, but you deal with it.
It's esports, man. If
Yeah.
everything goes according to plan, then you're gonna have like 5 viewers.
Yeah, right. So,
You just can't do it.
yeah. I mean, I would love to see that happen. I mean, even if I do get back into competing and say I get like another top team back in the mix, I'd love to be involved in all that over there. You know, my team there just having a blast. Because I mean, that just sounds fun. Straight up, it just sounds fun.
I mean, arCtyC but I mean, the good thing about it too that I also thought about is that you teams are forced to not be able to mute your mics, and you have I mean, if you can run base strategies all weekend, but you can't really try anything, then if you're at that point and you're not getting anything out of the practice, so we'll actually see you guys running consistent strats because money will be on the line. So the best overall record is kind of what I'm leaning towards.
Right.
Not so much a tournament on Sunday because it's 6 teams.
Yeah.
The best overall record will take that money and then second and third. So you guys will actually be forced to try the entire weekend. And that, my friend, that's right here. That's why I did that. Best overall record. What do you think about it, arCtyC?
I mean, that's a good idea. I mean, for a team like us that doesn't practice to win, so a lot of times if people view our streams, they're always really upset at how we perform or, you know, why we're running the same thing. So I think throwing that in the mix will kind of force our hand at, hey, trying to win the scrims and make it a little bit more entertaining for the people viewing. So I think that's a really interesting concept. You know, there's been a few team houses that never really threw in the live stream function and added that to the mix, you know, as far as just individual teams. So I think when you throw players and teams together from the Gears of War community, it's going to make for some exciting content.
Definitely.
I mean, I agree. 100%. I'm like I said, I'm like a little schoolgirl over it. I love it. I love everything about it. I'm actually going to post in the chat as soon as it loads for me the link to the preview of the house.
Predator, what do you think about that, dude? I'll mute your mic. Remember that. By the way.
To be honest, I think that's an excellent idea. I think it'd be interesting to see how people act when they're on the house and there's not too many people. You can't really hide in a shell. You're forced to talk. You're forced to, talk back. I don't know. I think it could be very interesting. Hopefully not too much trouble because you know how rowdy the Gears community gets and depending on what teams get there. But I think it'd be the best practice. It'd be better than going to an event, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, I posted in the link. This is, I'll post it again. This is the previews of the house. This is just what he's showing so far. But if you take a look at it, I believe he has 3 stations. So 6 teams, you can have the choice between watching any of the 3.
Oh, damn.
That house is sick.
Yeah. One of them will be casted by myself and I believe Vero Prodigy. Or, if a team's just sitting around not doing anything, that's it. But if you take a look at the middle or the second picture, that big screen actually brings, it has 3 channels, or it has the 6 channels on it that you can watch the live stream from that as well. So you can be sitting in the living room if you're not playing and just watching it right there. And you can hear the casters through it. It's fantastic.
Good Lord.
Awesome.
That's
Our house is sick.
That's sick, dude. We can make some crazy stuff. You
That's-
can't, putting all Gears
Exclusive.
people in a house like that, something's gonna go down.
you'd be Jersey Shore.
I can.
I'm gonna have to.
I can
enforce
already-
rules. I'm just saying there can't be, because this falls back on me, because I have sold. I have just been taking it here for you guys. So there can't be anything stupid Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You gotta do what you want.
Oh no, yeah, we know how to be respectable and all that. I'm just saying, like, I can already see the challenges coming up on those arcade machines and everything that's gonna come down due to it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sweet.
So, one thing I want to touch on that's kind of Gears related, but it goes to everybody as a whole, gaming-wise. There's been a recent spree of gamer tags getting jacked, and last night, Immortal Spawn fell victim to it. Now, I have the link somewhere on Facebook. I posted it on our private page, KL. I don't know if you saw it, or Burger. I posted in there pretty much, X-Jaws from Call of Duty has been having the same issues, and his tag keeps getting stolen back and forth. And now they're starting to attack Gears players because, even arCtyC got his stolen. I believe they stole Wingos's also. And someone else too, I forget. But, you know, I saw that and I'm like, I got to be one of the people coming up next. I mean, if they're coming after Gears people, like I'm going to be on that list. So I started doing research, and pretty much it's a flaw in Microsoft's system. They are able to, by not knowing your password due to failed attempts, it takes you to some page where you are able to, just by knowing some basic billing information, get all access to the account.
That's crazy.
But what this all
I didn't know that.
requires is your email. So all you guys out there watching, if you actually care about your account, make your email for your live account something nobody knows, and do not give it to them, because without that email, they can't touch it. They need the email. And if you don't do that now and you get jacked, I mean, you can steal it right back if you want, but it's just going to keep going back and forth.
That's
Yeah.
like, I don't understand why people do that. Like, does it give them like fun? Like, they get like happy out of doing shit like that?
It's just, yeah, it's an attention thing. I mean, if you saw the video the kid posted, like, they posted on YouTube, like, oh, jacked, and like they try to call themselves hackers, and they're not. They're not hackers at all.
That's
you know?
those Cosmo kids, right?
I don't know.
Cosmo.
I don't know who they are. I don't really want to give them too much attention. You know, specifically, I just want to, you know, bring up the issue.
Scumbags.
Yeah, I just want to bring up the issue so everybody's aware. You know, change your email to something ridiculous so they can't touch it. And I mean, that's pretty much all there is. I mean, they're going to take advantage of you. Yeah, I mean, the problem is Microsoft doesn't have a better system protecting your account. I mean, it's so easily flawed, and if you call up, it could take like over a month to get it back.
Ugh.
It sucks.
I got my account hacked multiple times.
Yep.
The first one is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
It catches you off guard. You're distraught. You know, you want to kill someone, but you can't.
Yeah.
Terrible. And then you have to go out and waste like $70. So shitty.
It's annoying. I mean, like me, I've had this tag for years. I've invested so much money on it, like Microsoft points, games I've downloaded. Like, it sucks.
I mean, what can you do besides making an email that no one knows?
Not much. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do. There's no like like MMOs on PC, like big games like that. Like they have some security code you got to enter that regenerates all the time, so it's always changing and only you know it. But you know, on Microsoft and even on PlayStation also, they don't have a feature like that. So these problems just keep coming up, and they don't really care to change it. So it sucks. I don't know.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
let's talk about we got MLG. You know, did it?
I will crush this. But
Oh
continue.
yeah. I know you'd be happy to talk about this. As you guys, I'm sure you know, MLG did not pick up Gears for the winter season. Now, before everybody freaks out, if you don't already know, this doesn't mean that they're not picking up Gears at all. It just means that they are not picking up for this specific season, and there are 4 seasons around the year. You got winter, spring, summer, fall. It goes around. Okay, so they're just postponing it. They said they are working on it for online and live events, because they've been working so hard with Epic, there's no way they're not going to give it that 1 season chance, I think. But, I mean, you guys can touch base on this now. What do you think about that, and like what we should do now?
Do I get to go first?
Yeah, you can go
Yes, I was
first.
going to say,
Okay.
you've been quiet.
So, this is my first point I want to make about this. And this just bothers me because of how much they've been marketing it and whatever. But the MLG Mad Catz controller just came out, all right? This is console-based. All the shooter guys are going to be
How is that? I'm sorry.
I love it.
promoting that controller. How are they not going to have console shooters at the first event, second event, third event, fourth event? It doesn't make sense. So for me, and the way they've handled this whole, we're going to pump StarCraft. I love StarCraft. I love watching StarCraft. I love the personalities in StarCraft. But they weren't built on PC gaming. And then they add a product, which they've been working on for, 2.5 years?
Yeah.
Initially started with Razer, then it went to Mad Catz. And then all of a sudden you're just going to shit on all the people that, helped you get there. I mean, and I don't want to say it like it's really bad, but I mean, I just don't like how much they've just flipped the script basically and invested so much interest in StarCraft. And then everyone else is kind of like, well, what's going on with Call of Duty? What's going on with Halo? What's going on with Gears? And then you got that controller sitting in your face. It's like, yeah, we want you guys to buy this $100 controller, but we don't know if any of the games that you guys play will be on the circuit. What? What? That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to me. So that's my one point that's the biggest point I want to make. Other than that, I really don't care. As far as Gears goes, like I said, every community needs to get to the point where they are doing their own events and holding their own stuff, following the fighting game community because they've been the one doing it for a while now. So I think once we get to that point, it really doesn't matter what MLG does.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Burger?
Personally, anybody who thought that Gears was gonna get picked up for the winter season, I didn't think it was gonna happen because Epic has to fix the LAN capabilities first. If you notice, the instants weren't right at NJ Halo and at Hyphen. So during TU4, they're gonna update that. They're gonna update the weapon time. So in the end, it's kind of a good thing that they didn't pick it up for the winter season. But we would love to hear about Call of Duty and Halo. For me personally,
Yeah.
I really don't watch Call of Duty. But this weekend during NJ Halo, I had a talk with Assassin and a couple other big names, and they were like, they were just like, they didn't know what was going on. They want the game to be picked up, and they haven't heard anything. Of course, same thing with Halo, same thing with Gears. But yeah, we have to wait for the game to get fixed and get all the settings right before we can even think about getting it picked up, in my opinion. I'm happy they didn't get picked up.
Yeah, me too. Me too for a couple of reasons. Number one, as you said, that there has been some issues with the LAN play and everything like that. And for those of you who did not attend Hypefestation, I mean, Killer KC was there. I mean, he's clearly going to take note onto a lot of things. He saw how everything was playing out. And quite frankly, I mean, he's a busy guy. So, I mean, he's one guy and he juggles, there's like 130 games on Game Battles that he is solely in control of to make them be played competitively. So his hands are full. So, of course, he's going to come through and see exactly what we're playing and see how things are working out. And then he's going to go back to MLG and say, this is what I saw kind of thing. This is what needs to be different. Now, that aside, I think my gut tells me that if MLG would have picked up Gears of War 3 for the winter season, Hypefestation would have slowly died. And the reason is because we had two events and it was successful. They were both successful, but as soon as MLG comes around, everyone would just start slacking off and be like, you know what? What's kind of the point of this when we can just go to MLG and be practicing for MLG or saving our money to go to MLG? Why do I want to go compete for this amount of money when MLG's putting up this amount of money?
Yeah.
And the thing is the camaraderie of Hypefest is what is going to propel us into the future. And that is what I think is the best thing about that. Now, also, one thing that I was tweeting about, actually, Crream and I shared a couple of the same tweets. He was stealing my tweets. I was sending them first.
Yeah, right.
You can check it. Go back and check it. Seriously, go back and check it. Someone do that. Basically, what happens is every off season since the dawn of MLG, off season has gone from basically November to April.
Mm-hmm.
The event's in March. Now, granted, it's like March 20th, but it's been like April 20th, April 26th, stuff like that in the past. We're not used to competing in March, and quite frankly, I think the fact that they haven't announced Halo or Call of Duty is just kind of like, what can these guys do? I mean, most of the Halo teams aren't even formed.
Yep.
Like, if there's an event, I'm going to be like, you want me to cast it? I don't know shit about what's going on. We don't even have game types right now. We have nothing. No game is ready. You can't possibly announce a console game at this point now. There is just absolutely no way. It is unfair to those players. Not only is it unfair, you're going to make these players fly out with a 3 to 4 week notice and have a $600 plane ticket.
Yep.
Doesn't make sense to me. Now, granted, most of these guys are all sponsored, and, hats off to you, Red Bull and all that shit. So congrats, but, I mean, come on. There comes a point where you have to draw the line. And that's why I hate to say it, I am happy that MLG did not pick it up for winter season. I really am. It's always good to have that name have that title on the circuit early because, that's reassurance for all of us. And we're like, hell yeah, Hypefestation's the reason it's picked up. We can kind of pat ourselves on the back. But it's not like we're doubting ourselves now.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone dropped out because MLG didn't pick up the game?
I've seen a bunch of messages, man.
Yeah.
Like on Xbox Live, people sending messages, I'm done with Gears. MLG didn't announce anything. And it's like, I mean, in all honesty, those players are probably the ones that were going to quit after they went to MLG and they didn't perform well anyway.
Yeah.
But it's kind of disheartening to see that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it sucks. I mean, I said it was going to happen. I said, say people pick, I say MLG picks up the game, people are going to quit because they don't like the format. And then if
Yep.
MLG doesn't pick up the game, some people are still going to quit because MLG didn't pick up the game. But it's not even that they didn't, they just didn't pick it up for this season, but they didn't pick up any of them for this season minus StarCraft and League of Legends,
Right.
I think, like stuff where I don't even remember exactly what the details were because I didn't care. I didn't really read into it. I mean, I didn't see Gears and I was like, nah,
You want to know?
Dude, that's another thing. Is League of Legends announced?
I
Like, I
don't
know
know.
this is completely not
No idea.
what we're supposed to be talking about.
It's just Tekken and StarCraft as of now.
Tekken.
Yeah.
I thought it was
No.
Mortal Kombat.
No,
Oh,
I
Mortal
read
Kombat, yeah, I heard
am
about that.
I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand why Gears wasn't picked up. I mean, my personal opinion is MLG is just a place of lost. I don't know. Like they promise, they make it broken promises. That's all it is. Like MLG is just broken promises. They promise this, promise that. They get everybody hyped up for something, and then in the very end they say no, it's not happening. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna wait. And thank God Hive Station's around because I think a lot of the players would not, wouldn't have anything to do. Would have eight months of doing absolutely nothing.
Mhm.
And it makes me happy to see that there's other communities that are reaching out and allowing Gears to grow. It's just a little frustrating after competing in MLG for 5 years, and not getting good faith. Not getting anything in return.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and on top of that, I mean, I got the BS excuses. Oh well, Gears of War 2. The reason why we dropped it is because we didn't have Epic. Well, now they have Epic. Now they have all the things they're talking about, and yet they're hesitating to make a move. They don't. MLG is a company that doesn't care about its players. It cares about its viewers. The viewers are here. I mean, it's not. There's nothing. There's nothing that we can do about it. We're the peons, and it's all about the business. To be completely honest, and a lot of people don't realize it. It just kind of sucks for the players who have been here through thick and thin, and been promised money and been promised this and contracts, and then they pay a plane ticket to go to North Carolina, and that's it. That's all they ever give you. I'm just a little frustrated with the whole MLG and Gears, and I knew that it wasn't going to get picked up. I mean, even though you saw Sundance tweet, hey, just got back from Epic. Oh yeah, no, dude, I've heard that song and dance before. I just don't know what to believe anymore. I'm just kind of my faith goes to Hive Station.
Mhm.
And and all the people who follow it. I mean, that's the smartest thing to do. I mean, I wouldn't even worry about MLG. I would just go to all these other tournaments, eBash or whatever they're going to do, and that LAN network. I mean, those are all great ideas, and that will help our community grow. I just don't think everybody should put too many eggs in MLG.
Yep. I mean, talking about broken promises. Do you guys remember the whole throwback event thing that they kept talking about, and then it just never happened? I mean, they
Yeah.
were boasting that for the longest time. We were all excited. Yeah, Gears 1 throwback event. We're all excited about it, and like nothing ever happened. Ever. Like they just
The
stopped
same thing
talking about it.
happened with multiple Halo 1 events, but
Yeah, they just stopped talking about it. And it was funny because like after every event, they talked about like, yeah, throwback event's coming. Don't worry, we just got to plan it. Like stuff around that, and it just never happened. It sucks that they didn't pick it up, but at the same time, we don't need MLG. I don't think we need them at
I
all.
agree.
And we
I
should.
agree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, but think of it this way. This is what I don't understand is that, I mean, Gears of War 2 was a broken game. I mean, no offense, but it had a lot of flaws. It had more flaws than this game does. So they were making all these excuses like, the game is broken, it can't play on LAN. This game can, and there's ways to manipulate it so that we can play. I think it's excuse after excuse. I think they're just trying to wait for it to die out. So that's why we have to play in these different tournaments and make these different tournaments popular and do the whole LAN network thing. I mean, us as a community have to make we have to make it happen.
One of the things that I think is interesting that, I wanted to touch on one thing, I guess, kind of thinking about it, is that without the players, there are no viewers. I think a lot of people kind of misconceive this, as far as what makes each league run. Like, it doesn't matter if we play in Hype Fest Station, some other random tournament. I don't know. People follow the teams. So if you've built up, Infinity or Insanes or LTZ, VVV, whatever, the people are interested in those teams. So when you make an event, they're not trying to watch, necessarily Gears of War. More often than not, they're watching
For
you
the
guys
players.
players. They're watching the players. So if we went to Hypefest Station and we got 10,000, 12,000 views, they're watching the top teams play. That's what they want to see. So, ultimately, I think either way, if MLG continues to do this kind of thing where they're back and forth and kind of the players feel slighted, I think you might see an uprising as we all mature, as we all get older. I mean, there's a lot of flaws and holes in MLG's business model, in my opinion. As far as the league goes, when you compare it to other leagues. Again, people follow players, they follow teams. You guys build fans, so it doesn't matter where we go. That's why I think that, like Gabe said, like everyone else has said, we just don't need MLG.
Yeah.
And it's good to be able to go to that. It helps with exposure, but ultimately people just want to see you guys play.
Yeah. One thing I had heard, it's just, rumors, reasons why MLG is weary of picking up the game is because they look at Major Nelson's, top 10 games being played, and Gears is, I think, 8th, in the top 10. They think the game's dead or dying, it's already out and stuff like that. And it's like, well, you see events like Hype and, the King of Couch before that, I even got 10,000 viewers, and, I know a lot of it is due to Twitch's front page, but that's not the point. Even when you leave the front page, a lot of those viewers are actually staying and continuing to watch because they don't know what it is and they're watching and they get into it and then they actually go to the channel and continue to watch. I don't get to watch Hype's numbers all the time, but like I said, the King of the Couch, when I hit 10,000, even when they took me off front, I dropped like a few thousand, but I was still sitting at like 5,000 to 6,000 viewers like the whole time, and they did not leave.
And that's just for a local tournament.
Yeah, and that's just for a local tournament. I'm sure at Hype it was the same thing. Like I think it was at 3,000 or so, and then you guys hit front, and it jumped right up. But even when it was all front page, the viewers, a damn good chunk of that, stayed and continued to watch. Because people like Gears of War. It's viewer friendly. It's fun to watch. You can't say Gears isn't fun to watch.
It isn't.
I'm going to go back to something that happened this weekend. While my team was playing, we were yelling and, we were just carrying on, doing our thing, screaming at the other team. And we're playing King of the Hill Rustlung. All of a sudden, behind us, I hear some commotion and kids talking about how fun Gears of War is watching. It's all these Call of Duty kids that never ever seen it before. They're behind us and they're like, wow, I never watched Gears before. It's fun to watch. So...
Owned. His internet cut out. But really, my take on the whole top 8 most played bullshit, whatever the hell that nonsense is about, I don't listen into that. I look at it like this. The reason people don't play Gears of War all the time, myself included, is because there is a huge learning curve, and there's a big difference between the average player and, the person who's slightly above average, the person who has his wings, and then, the people who float around the top 64, then the top 32, and then from there it's just like a big clusterfuck of different scales of who's good and who's off. It just goes on the day at that point, who is better that day. And that is something that a lot of people aren't used to because the game is hard.
Yep.
People could say, oh man, the Lance are so easy to shoot compared to the DMR. I've won my national championship. In my respected game, I didn't place out of the top 3. I have an incredibly hard time getting through a game of ranked and not going more than, 7 negative. The game is hard, and that's the thing. That's good, though. That is good. All we have, as this game progresses and people understand how to play it just a little bit more and more, people will understand. It's just like StarCraft. That game is hard as shit to play, and everyone knows that. And a lot of people get discouraged, but their numbers have stayed.
Yeah.
Because people come out with videos that certain strategies, and people just slowly improve after time, or as just time continues. And that is what I think is going to happen. The game is only going to evolve.
That's what I think, too. Especially with Epic support. The game is just getting better and better. The viewers are there, and like I said, if MLG doesn't want to play with it and pick it up, that's their loss because we're gonna keep pushing. There's already tons of stuff in the works right now. You got EGL coming up in April, the big European tournament. I know Hypefest, they're in the works for a third one. There's already a good amount of chatter going on. I know Caesar and Vera were tweeting about. There's other tournaments being planned. I saw Prodigy tweeting about the Annihilation tournament out in the West Coast. I mean, there's so many things coming up for Gears that all of a sudden, and a lot of it's thanks to hype and really boosting the numbers. And I mean,
Hmm.
like I tell people, I know King of the Couch isn't like big name like hype, but all you guys in the local, that is your best chance to get LAN experience and then go to hype and make something happen. Because you complain that you don't have the experience, you don't want to go, you don't want to get handled. Go to a local, get that experience, see how you do. I mean, big names go there. I mean, Infinity went there this weekend, minus Terror, and of course, they pretty much handled everyone. But I mean, the big names do go there. Raw Talent goes there. I mean, it's good experience.
Yep. Speaking of tournaments coming up, myself and Vero Prodigy will actually be casting the ACL, Australian Council League, I want to say it is, or Championship League. I don't know what it is, for Gears of War next weekend. So even the Aussies are getting into it.
Hmm. Yeah. That's the thing I never understood. Apparently, in Australia, Gears of War is popular. Like it is.
Dude, maybe just Australia is just a little bit better than America. It's just the only thing is it's like an 18-hour flight. So if you fly coach, kill yourself. But I mean, other than that, maybe. I guess I don't
Yeah.
know. Hit a kangaroo with a jeep. That's all I got. Next subject.
Yeah. Just still, still talking about like hype a little and stuff. Because MLG hasn't announced anything for Call of Duty, Halo, and all that. There's a lot of chatter, and it was even at the last hype. Should hype consider to try and bring in Halo or COD? Personally, I say no. I say it should stay all Gears. But what do you guys think?
Uh,
You guys.
I right now I think it's just a little too unorganized to try to add more to the mix. I, I would personally, I would like to see each of the respective communities build something up for themselves, and then maybe try to work together. But right now, a lot of us are in our infancy, so I don't think it's a smart idea to, cluster it up. And what I've kind of thought about doing is asking some people from the fighting game community to kind of get in and try to help out with some organization and logistics, because I know Alex Valle. And he's pretty adamant about promoting events for the fighting game community. But I think those guys kind of know what they need to do. So right now, nah, I don't think so. But in the future, yes, maybe.
Yeah.
Burger. He's never there. I'm just talking to Predator. What's your take on things?
As far as other games, I don't think it's really organized yet to even handle it. I think that there's a lot that needs to happen just on the gear side, just before they even think about hopping over to any other game. I just don't think they're really prepared, and they would need more staff and location, and I think they would have to travel, and they would have to test it. But like arCtyC said, I think the community needs to come together first, just to before you even start anything.
Burger.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Real loud too, by the way.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, next time scream into your mic when you come
I'm
back.
not even screaming. Dude, I don't even know. All right, but what I was saying was I talked to Caesar about adding Halo and Call of Duty, and Call of Duty's at the end of the list. Right now it's going to be predominantly Gears, and possibly once we get situated, we're going to add Halo to it. But it's going to be for a while. We need to get situated, and as it is, it's only made by us gamers, so we don't have any corporate sponsors to back us up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I say maybe after this next event, look into it. That's about it. Not for the one coming up. It's still too soon. As you saw at the last event, we barely had enough equipment to get through that. So there's just no room right now.
Yeah, basically, unless something, I'm gonna completely cut you off on purpose.
That's
fine. No, not you, Burger.
It's fine.
Unless something I'm sorry. Unless something drastically changes to where if we get 3 more, okay, let's say we have 4 stations that are the same, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, listen here, you Halo people, you want to come into our neck of the woods, you each have to bring your TV. So what is that, 3 stations, 24 TVs? We need 24 TVs, with, tables, which, the hotel will provide for. If we get 3 stations, no reason Halo should not be there.
Yeah, I gotta
No
also think
reason at
about
all.
prize money too. How that's gonna happen.
Screw it. They just
I'm
want
gonna
to
add something real quick.
I just want to
Uh,
play.
we had a 4th station in the last Hyper station, but what happened was there was power problems within the hotel, so
Yep.
we couldn't hook it up. So we actually did have 4 stations.
That's what happens when you have events in New Jersey.
Exactly.
Yeah, I heard about that fiasco. They pretty much lied to you about how much power there was when you guys talked to them, and then when you got there,
Yeah,
it was completely
was-
different.
I was up until 11:30 in the morning fixing that with everybody, Vero, and the rest of the people that were running Hype.
Mhm.
It was crazy.
I was a princess. I was asleep. Just saying.
All right. There's been a lot of talk about game types and what we're doing. You know, King of the Hill execution again. This whole thing. What should be cut? What should be kept? Stuff like that. I brought King of the Hill Slab into the mix, and apparently it's also great for execution. I just want to say, this weekend at King of the Couch, Slab played amazing. It was great. Amazing. We saw the most insane match. One of the greatest King of the Hill matches I've seen. It went 210 to 207. It does not get much closer than that. It was sick. And I just thought it played great. Also, I put Execution Gridlock back in, and guess what? It played out great. So,
What did you just say?
Gridlock.
No.
Yes. There's
Come
no reason why we
on.
stopped using it. I thought it
It's
played out
bad.
fine. Come on.
Dude, come on. It's pretty shitty.
No, it's
It's
not.
not. It's not one of the best 6 maps. It's better than Dry Dock, and it's better than Mercy sometimes, but
Trenches.
Trenches played really bad.
Yeah,
at
Trenches.
Hype.
Trenches.
Terrible.
I hate
God,
Trenches.
top
Really bad.
2 maps that just need to
Definitely.
get cut the F out instantly, man.
I cut Trenches, Dry Dock, and Mercy. And I had Execution, Checkout, Clock Tower, Gridlock, Thrashball, Hotel, and Old Town. And it played out fine. There's no problems. I know Gridlock would be the hardest one for me to get people to get into. But I mean, like I said, Execution Slab's playing great, so I would rather put Slab in place of Gridlock. Because I think it plays out as a great execution map, too.
I can see that happening. Slab in the place of Gridlock would be pretty good. I like the way that Slab played out this weekend.
Slab looked really good.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
I want it. I want it in. I want it in the rotation now.
Yeah. The things people are talking about, I know you see it all the time, Kale, and I've been just backing off from that whole thing, trying to debate with them on that page, because it just makes me want to put my head through the wall sometimes.
Yeah.
And they're trying to say that on King of the Hill Slab, when it goes to those ink hills, that you spawn outside. Okay, that happens. You do spawn outside. That's your primary spawn. If you get wiped out, you spawn outside that hill, and then like a normal execution spawn, right, where you start off. And then they're saying that it is impossible to now break through and get back into the hill, that you pretty much get spawn trapped. I didn't see that happen at all.
I haven't seen that happen.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, what can happen, and I've played a lot of, ranked King, is, and when you say spawn outside, you mean, like, let's say the hill is in blue, you can spawn in the blue, I think it's showers.
Yeah, showers and exercise yard. That's what it is. I
Right.
think.
So if the hill is in blue, you spawn in blue showers, and then you have 2 ways out. So basically, by the time you get to the door, your respawn shield is gone. So I can see what they're saying, but I just have not witnessed a spawn trap on that. Like, you can smoke stun out. There's tables there. There's cover. You can wall bounce through. I just disagree. And then once you get past that point, it's an easy break for the hill. It's not like you're spawning across the map. So, I just disagree with it right now, that position.
Yeah, I don't see it myself. Have you seen it really at all, Gandhi? Like how Slab plays?
I watched a little bit of it at KOTC. It looks a blast to cast. I'll put it that way.
It was fun. I was solo
Yeah.
casting that match, dude. It was great.
It looks awesome to cast, and that is, that's what I care about.
Yeah.
I don't care about how it plays. As long as it's fun. If it's normally fun to cast, it's normally a good game. It's normally a good map to play. So, but yeah, I thought it looked really freaking awesome. But as long as my demands are met, where somehow we could come up with like 5 King of the Hills and 6 execution maps, I think I'll be a very happy camper. Now, as it's looking, where are we looking to improve? Where we're looking to pick up King of the Hill Slab, for sure. We're going to keep the 3 we already had before. And then, so that's 4. Would we add another one? Would we even consider hotel anymore? Or
Hotel
thrash
is
ball with a new map or new hills?
yeah, Thrash Ball with New Hills definitely.
I just want to say after TU4, a lot of maps would look different. So I want to see all the maps, every single map on King tested after TU4. If the hills are changed.
Do you know when TU4 will be coming out? Is there any?
I haven't heard any dates. I mean, based off the schedule that it's been right now, I would say probably sometime in spring.
Got it.
Maybe April. I don't know, March or April. But I would honestly like to see people start running Thrash Ball again. For the longest time, I've said that minus that top hill, all the way in the back, that is the absolute best, hands down, King of the Hill map, Thrash Ball. So, and I played the shit out of King of the Hill. So, I mean, to me, it just is the flow of it. You know where people are spawning. The hills are predictable. I mean, there's one position that you really have to control as far as power position goes. It's just that back hill kills the map. That's it. The back hill.
Yep.
My only issue with Thrash Ball is how once that scoreboard drops, and it drops so early, like once the scoreboard drops, it's pretty much just nades. That's it.
We can work with swaps.
Oh yeah, of course.
Can work with swaps.
Oh!
That is true.
Get that Boltok out of there. And
yeah, that would make sense.
There.
I say switch the power weapon in the middle to where Botok is, so then it's always there.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think there's a lot of potential with Thrash Ball.
Wow. I didn't even think about that. I forgot all about weapon swaps. I've just been used to just being like, oh, well, MLG wants default, so fuck everything
Well,
else.
you know, Epic has worked, you know, like on Trenches,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
we suggested it a little bit. I'm pretty sure that's how it went down. You know, we suggested